Well, after a grueling 12 hours on the road, and it wasn't 12 hours drive time, but 12 hours from the moment we started off to the moment we stopped. And we did stop at a hotel in Corbin, Kentucky. So we've been to this place before, so we're familiar with, Mark always goes back to the ones that he's comfortable with, that he's been to. So here we are. We deliberately tried to make it to this point on the first day so that the second day isn't a problem. A lot less effort. But he was quite willing to look for a nursery for me to find my plant in Corbin, but unfortunately we got here too late and everything was closed. So we just, got a hotel room, went for dinner. And then I looked on the internet and he suggested perhaps stopping by Chattanooga, I believe it was. So I did find a place that seems to have the Sweet Bay at a decent price, a decent size. So we are going to stop by on the way to our Alabama home, and hopefully I'll be able to plant this in the ground. Hopefully they have one. It does say on their website that they do have one in stock, so should be awesome. Tennessee. Welcome, Tennessee. Alabama Welcome Center. Did you want to stop there?
Yeah.
Well, as you can imagine, there's been quite a number of storms that have passed through, and mostly unscathed. But looks like I've got a lot of limbs to pick up. Fortunately, nothing serious. And when this dries out, I can clean this driveway again. It's littered with debris and just fallout from the trees. And of course my fig tree got hurt, if you can call it that, I guess. It has, we took down another tree here, and perhaps this branch was leaning against that other tree, and with the winds it may have become pretty weak, and the whole system dropped. These branches dropped. Now, I was telling Mark we have two options, or a couple of options with this. Either we could tie them up, strap them up so that they are held on by the heavier branches over there, or I could cut them back. They're pretty long anyway, so if I cut them back, I might be able to root these branches and make very substantial fig trees out of the branches that I cut off. Now, that would be pretty much risking these. But these ones, for some reason, this particular branch isn't doing an awful lot in the way of fig production, although it could be early here. So I really don't think it would be too much of a loss in fig production, but it's a shame, the tree is doing very well otherwise. I'm going to show you this. I had the earlier figs that were coming on, which is these ones here, and these are considered Breba figs, so they are the early ones that are produced. And sometimes, depending on the type of fig tree you have, you may lose those, or you may actually be able to harvest them. I don't know which. But now, and they grow on the older branches. So I still have all those figs that were produced on the older branches. They're still there, but on top of that, there's some of the older ones. On top of that, I've got a whole bunch of new little figs coming out on the new growth, which is going to be this year's figs. So everywhere I look, I've got quite the substantial amount of figs. So nothing to harvest now. I was wondering if I would be able to harvest these Breba figs here currently, but not a chance. On the other hand, all the new growth is putting out figs, which is wonderful. I should have a really good supply. Now, the other interesting thing here, when we drove up last night, we surprised a deer running across the field there. I guess didn't like the sound of the car pulling up, so he rushed out. And that's the first time I've seen any wildlife of that size. So that's interesting. We have deer on the property, which I would expect we would have, because there's quite a bit of land. I think there's 10 acres on that side, and then there's probably another 40 acres on that side. So there's a lot of acreage with nothing in between, which is nice for me. But yeah, you would expect wildlife there. So checking everything out. Actually, these leaves on the property here have helped keep the weeds down, which is really good. On other areas, we have tons of weeds that I have to, and long grass that I have to cut. So in a way, those leaves actually did quite the job. So checking out, see here, this all has to be mowed down, cleaned up. Checking out my other fig tree here, and it's doing well. So, no figs, but the tree itself looks healthy enough. But no figs yet. Okay. Oh, perhaps. Nope, no figs. I see no figs on this tree. Yeah, this one here seems healthy enough. And we've cut it back already quite a bit. But I'm not cutting back anymore. I'm going to just leave this be and let it do its thing. Now, checking out fig number 3. And it's a bit damp here, so I'm being very careful where I walk right now because a different time of year. So now what's this? Another old carpet here? Oh my goodness. A pair of glasses, or it used to be glasses. Amazing the things you find. And yes, this looks like there used to be a carpet or something there. Mind you, there were these 2 chairs there as well, so. And into the gloom. The old chicken coop. Yeah, it's a shame. That really needs work, but it's the last thing on my list. Okay, walk to my last fig tree. Oak tree seems healthy enough. Lots and lots of trees on this property, and all different varieties. Okay, here's the fig plant or fig tree, the third one, and it's coming back nicely as a whole bunch of branches, I guess. It is not one fig tree, it is a fig bush, but that's okay too. I think I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes because of the dampness here. Okay, and the muscadine seems to be growing nicely. Well, the vine is anyway. And we have more muscadine vine over there. And we have another enclosure there, but I'm not going to walk through that right now. Okay. So there are a lot of branches that I do have to pick up, but the ones close to the property or at the front of the property are prime, and these ones at the back, well, they can all be pushed off to the side there or something. Now, I have a tree here that I'm still trying to figure out what it is. And let's get to it first. Yeah, here's some more dead branches down. And as I told Mark, we have, I don't know if these are snake holes or homes or what they are, but we do have some cavities here that I located when I was cleaning the leaves. I don't know if this is a pear tree, if this is some sort of an apple tree. My phone, Google, does not really give me any. Now, they do look like they could be apples, they could be pears. Initially it told me it was that Bradford pear, but the Bradford pear, the fruit on it was much smaller and more grouped together, where these are more singles or just a few. But it could be a pear tree. Hard to say. Would be nice, but hard to say. So probably by the fall I will know. Okay, yeah, and it could be an apple. Definitely could be some sort of an apple tree. Now, Mark is also going to have some sort of an issue here with the tree. The limbs seem to have gotten weighed down from the storms, and they are on the roof. So he's got to get up on the roof at some point and cut those limbs down, so before they cause a problem. So that's another job for Mark. Now, one of the major reasons for coming back is because we had to rush away the last time. Mark had an appointment that he could not ignore, so we had to get back in time for that. And we didn't have time to add any security to the house. So we came back to put some cameras up, and that's the major part. But I find that I've got a lot of yard work to do as well, so we'll be doing that and a few other little internal jobs that we can get done, we will do. And yes, my fig, I'm thrilled. Well, we'll do what we can. And yeah, big job. This yard is definitely work, there's no doubt about it, but I don't mind at all.